Ashley, or depending on where you're watching from, it might be good afternoon. Welcome to the Artesprix Craft Room. My name is Ashley, and I am the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Artesprix, where we make sublimation arts and craft supplies. And if you're tuning in for the first time, you might not know what sublimation is. Sublimation before Artesprix was a way to personalize different objects with a printer, and this printer had special fancy ink, it has special paper, and we said, well, what if you don't have a printer? Why does the printer get to have all the fun? And we created a line of iron-on ink, which means we have markers and stamp pads and paint, and that gives anybody the ability to create sublimation projects without a printer. So we are live from the craft room. It's a Friday evening, a new time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you're joining us, say hello in the chat. I want to know where you're watching from. Please put your questions and your comments in the chat as well. Make sure you said hi. Haley's here. Say hi, Haley.
Hello.
And she's going to be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions at all or any input about what I'm doing, you want to give me some creative guidance, I welcome it. I welcome that. I thrive off feedback. So what are we going to be doing today? Happy October. I'm going to be sharing with you all the wonderful things that come with a new month here at Artesprix. Today's the 3rd, October 3rd. Today's Mean Girls Day, right? So easy to remember if you're a Mean Girls fan. So the new webpage has been up for about 3 days. So go check it out. We've got new fun Halloween bag tag inspiration. So if you need some inspiration on how to make a custom luggage tag bag tag for your trick-or-treat bag, so that way you can tell yours apart from everybody else, go check out the homepage. We have that there for you, as well as some awesome other Halloween projects all the way down at the bottom that were hand selected by yours truly, some of my favorites. So go check those out if you're looking for some Halloween inspiration. Also new this month is the Craft Before You Carve bundle. So what is that? What are we thinking here? We're saying, why don't you get your family and friends together while you're waiting? What does it take to cook a turkey? Like 4 hours. And if you're done making mashed potatoes, you're done prepping, pies and whatever, and all the wonderful things that come with Thanksgiving, what else are you going to do with your family and friends? Let's craft. Let's, get together and do some fun things, but let's craft with a purpose. Let's craft to set the dining room table for Thanksgiving. So what comes in the Craft Before You Carve bundle? It comes with markers. So it comes with 2 sets. It comes with 2 sets of bold markers and 2 sets of basic markers. So this is like your basic red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, brown, black, and gray. And then these are the bold colors. So really, really popular. These bold colors are with the Artesprix fans. And then additionally, it comes with 2 small rolls of protective paper, a mini tape roll, and it comes with 2 sets of coasters, so 16 coasters. It comes with 2 pot holders as well as 2 kitchen towels, okay? And so today I thought it would be fun to show you one of the ideas that I have with the Craft Before You Carve kit. I think it would be really fun. If you've got a really big family, everybody can make 1 coaster. If you've got a small, quiet, peaceful Thanksgiving, everybody can do a set of 4 coasters. So it just depends on how big your gathering is, how many coasters everybody gets. But what's cool about these blanks is they can be more of like a team effort. And I'm going to show you some ideas. And then wait, the best part, it also comes with 10 sublimation coloring pages that are fall themed. Okay, so we have 5 of these leaves and 5 of the fall pumpkins come in the bundle as well. And these don't expire. You don't use them. You can use them again next year. So what is a sublimation coloring page? These black lines will transfer. So it's as easy as coloring them in with the markers and then placing them on the blank and transferring. It's really that simple, and we're going to show you that here today when we get started here with our craft. So before I keep gibbering on, Haley, what's going on in the comments? What am I missing? Tell me what's going on with you.
Dan said that the link that we sent isn't working and that it only works on Instagram. I was telling him we've had some technical difficulties.
Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. For whatever reason, the link, the preview link, the one that we've been sharing on Facebook and Instagram and stories, for whatever reason, that is not recognizing. When we pull up the phone to go live, it's saying that there's no live scheduled, but we know that there's a live scheduled. So I don't know why it's not working. But I said to Haley, you know what? The show must go on. Okay, so I said, just start a new live. We'll just cancel that one. So forgive us and thank you for tuning in. Sometimes technology isn't on our side and we don't have time to figure out why it's not showing up on our phones. So I said, just start a new one and we'll get going here. So if you're joining us from the other live link that we've been sharing all week, thank you for coming over here. Welcome. This is where the live is. So sorry for any confusion, but sometimes that happens. So anyway, anything else, Miss Haley?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. All right, well, let's get started on some of the other news this month. As a new month brings, we also have our promo, which is free blanks with every order. No minimum required. You don't have to spend a certain amount. We're going to send you a free blank with every order this month. You order $25 or less, we're going to send you a blank that's around like $8 or less. You order anywhere from $25 to $75, you're going to get one of our mid-level blanks, maybe around like $11. And then if you order $75 or more, you get a blank that's worth like $12 or more, one of our like, really nice blanks, like a sequin pillowcase or something like that. So that is our promo this month. So free blanks with every order, no tricks, just treats for you guys. So place your orders this month and you never know what kind of blank you might get. Perfect for adding to your stash. Maybe you're going to get to try a material you've never worked with before, and certainly great to have on hand for the upcoming holidays because you never know when you're going to need a last minute gift. Anything else? We talked about the promo. We talked about the bundle. Oh, we have our blank of the month, socks. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but I think these are so fun, especially for the holidays. You could make your own Thanksgiving socks, football themed. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun? Kick your feet up, watch football, eat all of your favorite things. Wouldn't this be good? Christmas, of course. These would be great Christmas socks. You could make Christmas socks for the whole family. You could even get the socks ahead of time and create your Christmas pajamas at your Thanksgiving gathering. So many ideas. This is the blank of the month this month. It is on the homepage. So go get yourself a pair of socks and create with them this season. Only available on the Artesprix shop for this month. So let's get started in today's project. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to focus on the craft before you carve kit. Okay, so in that kit comes one of our amazing kitchen towels. I love these kitchen towels. I even use them myself. Lots of room to create, which also means you really should use a bigger heat source. So if you have like a heat source like this, like a very small heat source like this would not work as well with this big. You would have to do like one design press, another design press, which you could certainly do, and you have all the time while the turkey is cooking, so it's not like we have to be somewhere, right? So you really could do today's project with one of these. It would just take longer. We will be using the heat press. Okay, so actually let me go ahead and turn that on. I'm going to turn it on to 400 degrees. So look at this beautiful kitchen towel. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I showed you how we could make this into a Hostess gift for the Hostess, obviously, but with everybody's name on it. Maybe everybody colors a leaf and then we put it all over, and I have some other ideas to make it extra Thanksgiving themed. So that's what I thought we'd do today. Let's turn our kitchen towel blank into a Hostess gift for Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put this aside because we want to keep it nice and white. We don't need it now. So we're going to put it aside, but that is what we're going to be working with. So the first thing we're going to do is we need signatures, right? We need signatures of all the wonderful people that are with us on Thanksgiving. So you're like, wait, hold on, Ashley, slow down. Signatures, that means people are going to be writing their names. But sublimation traditionally calls for mirrored text. So I'm going to show you a trick. You're going to grab a thin Sharpie. I'm sorry, you know what? Pause, time out. Haley, before I jump into today's craft, is there anything in the comments? Any questions about any of the things I've been talking about? Just want to take a pause because sometimes I forget to take pauses for questions.
Estelle says good morning from Perth, Australia.
Hello, Estelle. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, good morning to you too.
And that's all we got.
Okay, well, thank you for tuning in. So let me go ahead and keep going. Thank you for watching. And if you're catching us on the replay, make sure you give us a like and a comment, and we'll be sure to respond back to those. So even if you're watching it on the replay, we want to see your comments, we want to see your questions, and we can't wait to answer them. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a plain sheet of copy paper. This is plain copy paper, and you are going to take a thin Sharpie, and you're going to go up to your favorite Thanksgiving guest first, and you're going to say, I need you to write your name on thin Sharpie. So I'm just going to do it very quickly, just Ashley, just how I would. Okay, normal thin Sharpie. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over. Okay, we are done with our thin Sharpie. We're going to put that to the side. And then we are going to take a black sublimation marker and we are going to trace the signature. Now, if you had a light box, you could certainly do this a little bit easier. But honestly, with the thin Sharpie, you can see it through pretty well. And that's it. There we have it. We have my backwards signature. So then what you're going to do is you're going to fill up the whole page with all your signatures, which is you can have them trace it, or you can, or it can truly be a surprise. You can just have everybody sign with thin Sharpie and not tell them what you're doing over there in the corner. You have options, or you can make them a part of it and say, okay, now you're going to flip it over and trace it and get them involved or as uninvolved as you like. It depends on what you're going for. So that's all it is. And then what I would do next is I would have everybody take some leaves or some pumpkins and then color. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to blend with our markers. That's a very common question. Can you blend with our markers? Now I say yes, I think they do. Now, do they blend like a alcohol marker? Not so much. But can you color over other colors? And will it affect the nib? No. And then will you see those colors blend together better? Certainly. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that really quick. So I'm going to take a red marker. Now you'll notice that all my markers are tipped down. You want your markers to be tipped down before and during use, and then stored to their horizontal position when not in use. So I'm just going to take this red and just go right on the paper, and oh my gosh, our markers just glide on the paper. It is just so smooth. So start with red and then orange. Haley, do we have any questions?
We do not, but I do want to tighten up our YouTube video real quick.
Sure. Okay, so I did that, and then we're going to do, we also have this like marigold color from the bold. And then we're just going to go right over those colors, and I'm just going to go right over everything. And what I love about being able to go right over that red is I don't have to worry about it red getting on this nib and then affecting, you know how sometimes when you do that and you're like, oh, the yellow, it's shot for life. There's all these other colors all over it. That doesn't happen with our marker. So I'm just going to go right over this orange and this red, and then that's it. It's just that easy. And these black lines will transfer. Now, these are available for digital download. So if you're like, I already have a kitchen towel, I already have markers, I already have protective paper, I already have tape, I already have everything I need. I just need these coloring books. And if you have a sublimation printer, you can just print these out on copy paper and you're ready. You have everything you need. If you don't have a sublimation printer and you already have everything, so you don't want to just get the coloring pages, all you're going to do is you're going to print these and then you just have everybody trace over the black lines, or they can just color them in and the black lines won't transfer. And we have a live showing exactly what it's going to look like, whether you do this kind of piece of paper or you trace the black lines or you just color with markers and you don't trace the black lines. So go to last month's live to see the differences in options, whether you use a sublimation print coloring page or not. So definitely go check that out. So here is our blended finished leaf. I think it looks great. I might be biased, but I mean, I just love how fast I was able to do that. So then once everybody has done their leaf or leaves or however many you want, you're gonna wanna go ahead and tear those out. So we also have pumpkins. And so I went ahead and colored those ahead of time, and then I cut them out. So I just did a bunch, and I also did like gourd style. So I did some like different greens, and I also tore the paper. So one of the things, a little hack, is instead of cutting the paper, now I know some of these are a little close together, so you don't want to go too risky business, but where you are able to, you're gonna want to rip the paper. And that's because you will get less of a press line when you go to press it. So I'm just going to go ahead and tear this leaf out to show you the ideal way of doing it. And again, like this gets a little close, so I might just snip this part, but then go back to ripping again. There we go. And then that'll help you not get harsh press lines when you go to press. So we have all of our color designs that all of our family members colored in and we cut out. So easy, so simple. Okay. And then we have all of our signatures that we then, told everybody to write forwards and then traced over with a black sublimation marker. Okay, so the last thing that I thought would be good, and so technically not in the kit, but I had to show you, we also have our block alphabet stamps. These are buy one get one. So if you buy one, you really get 2 block alphabet stamps. So definitely something to add to your stash if you have our ink pads, or if you've been wanting to add some sublimation stamps to your stash to make it easier. Now is the time for sure. Also, just a little rundown just quickly, if you're a stamper, traditional stamps, so those like regular stamps in the market, are reversed, so then that way on the greeting card they read correctly. Well, we want our text on the paper to be mirrored, so we came out with a line of non-reverse stamps, aka sublimation stamps, and so this will make it very easy. People could even do their names like this, so you don't have that signature feeling, but you could have everybody just take their name at like, Sam or Mom, Nana, whatever, and then they could stamp in different colors on the paper. That's an option too. But instead of names, I thought it would be cute to take the orange ink pad and do give thanks. So I went ahead and did set all the letters up on our acrylic stamp block. So it says give thanks. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take our orange sublimation ink pad and we are just going to ink it up. I like to use the marrying technique. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, and then we're just going to go straight down, straight up. And this is just copy paper. So if I don't like it, I can just, use it, stamp again and do whatever one I like. So there we have it. Give thanks in reversed. So easy. So easy. And that color looks very muted. It certainly does not look like that, but this is the color that it's going to turn out to be. The color on the cap, the color on the lid. So this is all muted. That's very normal. It'll all change once we add heat and pressure. So I'm going to do that a few more times. Haley, what's going on over there in the comments? Anything I need to know about? Anybody have any questions?
No questions.
Not at the moment. All right, well, that means I'm doing a good job of explaining. Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these. And we also have our multi-purpose cleaner. If you've already got stamp cleaner in your stash, that'll work. Also, a baby wipe will work, but we thought it would be good to have our own stamp cleaner that was specifically designed for iron-on ink. And it also smells great. So you want to, this ink will stain your stamp just like other stamp ink. So you want to go ahead and clean it ASAP. But it will, you know, it will stain your stamp, but it will not affect the functionality of your stamp. So just make sure you clean it off after you're done using it. Okay, nice and clean. Done with that. Lid on the ink pad. All right. So I think we have everything. So let me make sure this area is all clean from ink. We don't want, we're going to bring our white towel over here. I'm going to tear these. I don't know how many of these I'm going to have room for, but I just went ahead and stamped a few, but there's no time limit on when we have to transfer. So if I only end up using 2 or 3, I can save the other ones and use them for another Thanksgiving project. We've seen things transferred over a year later. So there are truly no rules when it comes to time transferring, you know, how soon after you've created it do you have to transfer to your blank. Okay, all right, I'm just going to tear 2. We're going to place what we've got and we'll see what it looks like, where we end up. Now, we have everything. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our kitchen towel. Now, there is a front and a back, technically. So, this is the back because it has the tag. So, I'm going to put it like this. And then I would start with the names because they are the most important. So we're going to do all the names over here. I just had an idea. We need to add the year. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to add the year because this towel is going to last a lifetime. It could even last for generations. Okay, so we want to make sure that, you know, we differentiate from this year from last year, right? How are we going to know?
You have a comment. Hello, beautiful. Ashley, it's Amy Evans. Just stopped in to give a like and say keep on spreading that sublimation magic.
Hey, Amy. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. All right. This is looking good. I kind of want it to be a little random, not so, you know, strategic. Okay, so now I've got all the names because that's the most important. The people who we give thanks with, that's the most important. So we're going to place those down. Now we're going to do the leaves. So I've got a leaf here. I'm going to do a leaf pumpkin. Like a leaf. I think I want to put a give thanks here. Give thanks. And maybe down here, give thanks. Maybe a pumpkin over here. A leaf here. A little leaf there. And you can always color more in if you needed to. Or again, you don't have to use them all. Use them for another project. Use them on the pot holder. Use them on a complimentary coaster. These are nice and small, so they're great for small blanks or big blanks. Okay, I'm not going to drive us crazy placing it. I think that's good. think that's good. We have a nice array. And of course, look, there's like a couple more spots that you could fill in, but I think I'm happy with this. So now everything is face down, and you can see that everything's going to read correctly because all the names are facing up, and you can even tell from this way that give thanks is perfect as expected. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our heat resistant tape. So this does come in the kit, a mini roll, which has like 144 inches of tape. So it's probably going to take you beyond the kit. So you have a mini roll of tape. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take this heat tape. Now this heat tape doesn't melt because what's happening is the design is a solid. Okay, and then with heat and pressure, the solid is turning into a gas, and we want that gaseous color to go right where we want it. We want to trap it with heat and pressure, and this heat tape is going to make sure that that gaseous color goes right where we want it. So I'm like, oh, I want that pumpkin stem to go right in that waffle square. This is going to make it happen. So we're going to put a piece of heat tape, 2 pieces of heat tape on every piece. So this is going to take a minute. So this is a great time to ask questions. So put your questions in the chat because I want to answer them.
We do have a question from Estelle. She said, how would you store the spares, and does humidity affect the storage?
You know, we live in Florida, okay? So Florida is, now everything is stored inside, but I'm going to say that even in Florida, humidity is everywhere. So we have not had any issues, knock on wood. We have seen no issues with humidity and transfers being stored over time. So I really can't speak to that because we have not seen that issue yet. So I'm going to say, I mean, you should avoid humidity. We should avoid storing it outside, of course, but we have not seen any adverse effects from you know, long-term, like I said, long-term humidity. And we have humidity in Florida for sure. So, and then the other question was, how should you store it? Well, we just use trays and cabinets. So you really can just store them any way you want. Like you could use like a file folder. There's really no rules. We just have like in this cabinet right here, you would just open it up. Maybe we can do a behind the scenes tour one day. That would be cool. Like and we just have them stored. We just have old paint projects, old ink pad projects, old marker projects. We have heat transfer mask pieces that are, so we try to, you know, waste not, want not. We try to save everything, especially if it can be used again. So great questions. I guess the answer on both of those is no rules. No, we haven't seen any issues with humidity, and we just store them like regular paper. So, and it seems to be working well. Like I said, we've seen things transferred up to a year later.
We do have another question.
Oh, I love the questions. Keep them coming, guys.
Can you use tape only on cups, or do you need it to be wrapped?
So when you have a tumbler or drinkware, something that is going into a cylinder press or a oven like this, you should use heat tape. The wrap is also there, but the heat tape is going to be your ultimate. The heat tape is there to keep things in place, so then that way the gaseous color goes exactly where we want. The sleeve, or the sublimation wrap as we call it, that's what's adding the pressure. So don't think of the tape as doing the job of the pressure. The tape is doing the job of making the gaseous color go exactly where we want it. The wrap is going to be the one that is doing the job of the pressure. And with every sublimation project, heat and pressure is really important. So to answer your question, on the drinkware, you're going to need tape to hold it in place, to hold your project in place and make sure that gaseous color goes where we want it. And you're going to need the wrap to add the pressure. Great question. You really need heat tape and protective paper for every sublimation project. Now, some would say that technically speaking, we could put this under there and press. But we all know that when we go to add the press, it's going to be like a whoosh of wind, and every little piece is going to just go whoosh. Now, maybe with a mini iron, like a mini handheld iron, one would argue that I could like put it down and then like place the iron really fast on top of it. But you just spent all this time coloring. So why not make sure that it, you know, transfers well by setting it up for success with tape.
We have another question by Mary on YouTube. She said, I got on late. Can you tell me about your kits? What is it and how often do you get them?
So we have a Sublimation starter kit, and that's just a box that has everything in you needed to get started. We currently don't have like any type of like subscription service, but possibly something we could do in the future. I think that would be really fun to do with blanks. Like every month you got some different blanks to work with. So an idea I had. So the starter kit comes with markers, a mini roll of heat tape, protective paper, and 6 blanks. It comes with 2 coasters, 2 gift bags, and 2 acrylic luggage tags. And what's great about those blanks is they're small, so you can use them with a home iron for sublimation crafting. You cannot use a home iron for traditional sublimation because the home iron is not going to get the freckles on my face, the color of my eyes. So home irons are a no-no for traditional sublimation, but they can certainly be used with sublimation crafting, which is what we're all about here at Artesprix. And those blanks that are in the kit are small enough to use with a home iron. So yeah, it comes with markers, heat tape, protective paper, 6 blanks. Haley can put the link in the chat, or I don't know, can you do that on YouTube? I don't know.
Yes, I did.
Thank you, ma'am. Mm-hmm. And then this month, so each month we also try to do like a kit, like a, you know, seasonal kit, or try to curate something that will help you, you know, with your seasonal crafting. And that is the Craft Before You Carve bundle. So it comes with, it is all about getting crafty with your friends and family while the turkey is cooking, or, you know, not everybody does turkey, whatever it is that you're making. So we have 4 sets of markers, 2 basic, 2 bold, heat tape, protective paper, which I'm about to show you how to use the protective paper. And then it comes with 2 kitchen towels, 2 pot holders, and 16 coasters. So depending on how big your family is, everybody can make their own coaster, and they can, oh my gosh, everybody could write their name and then, you know, flip it over, do the whole Sharpie trick that I just showed you, and then everybody could put their name on their coaster, and it could also be like seat assignment. Love that idea. Love that idea. So coasters, pot holders, and 2 of these kitchen towels. Oh, and what else is really cool about this bundle, I didn't tell you this before, but this is the first time where I've put together a large bundle and it has different levels. So this is cool, especially for returning customers, people who love our products and already have some stashed at home. The full bundle comes with everything I just mentioned. But what if you already have markers? Because we're not here for repeat business on markers. These markers are fantastic. They're made in Europe. They're high quality. They're gonna last. You take 1 marker, you draw a line. It goes over 4 football fields. So what if you already have the markers? There's a tier 2 that's just supplies, which is heat tape, protective paper, the coloring, the sublimation coloring pages. I forgot to mention that come with this as well, and the blanks. But then you're like, I've already got heat tape. I've already got protective paper. All I want are the 16 coasters, the 2 pot holders, the 2 kitchen towels, and the coloring pages. We got you. That's going to be the lowest tier, which I think is like $50. What a great activity. And then again, it's going to last for a lifetime. So where are we with our project? We have all of our signatures and stamp designs and coloring pages that we just colored in with the markers, all face down and secure. This heat press is 9 by 12. This blank is much larger than 9 by 12. So we're gonna have to do it a few times, which is fine. And that's another reason that the heat tape is gonna be our friend in this case, because I'm gonna move it, press it again, and everything's gonna stay exactly where I want it. So because we're using a tile technique and our blank is bigger than our heat source, tape is also going to be our best friend. Any questions, Haley? Any more questions at the moment?
No more questions.
Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make a sublimation sandwich. Okay. And what does that mean? We're going to take our protective paper, which comes in both the starter kit and the Craft Before You Carve kit. This is protective paper. It's not parchment paper. It's not butcher paper. It's siliconized paper. It's what the professionals use because we are all about professional level tools in craft form. If you don't have siliconized paper, parchment paper is a good option because parchment paper is meant for heat. And the reason we need this is because we want to keep all of our work surfaces clean as well as the backside of this towel. I would love to keep this nice and white. And we don't know what ink could be hiding over here ready to regas and go somewhere where I don't want it. So we're going to protect all of our blanks, all of our work surfaces with a piece of protective paper. This is not, this is a standard like Reynolds wrap aluminum foil container. So save them, reduce, reuse, recycle. They are perfect for your siliconized protective paper rolls. So we have our bottom bun, okay? And then we are going to take our blank and we're going to flip it. Now it's, oh no, actually we're not going to flip it. We're actually going to leave it just like this. I'm so used to it being the other way where the design is bigger than the blank. So forgive me that I misspoke there. We're actually going to leave it just like this. Okay, so the way I like to remember it, the blank is the burger. The design is the cheese. The cheese goes on top of your hamburger. B, burger, blank, slice of cheese, slice of design on top. Okay, so we're just going to take this like this over here and we're going to do in like 4 quadrants. So some of it might get pressed twice and that's okay. That's all right because it's sublimation crafting, you're not going to be able to tell. And so again, we need our top piece because this ink is powerful and this is just plain old copy paper. The ink is going to go right through and onto our iron, so we need another piece of siliconized paper. Okay, and then we are going to press this for 60 seconds. I'm going to move all this over. And if you are using a handheld press, you're going to want to incorporate one of our project mats. This is our 12 by 12. We also have a 9 by 9. So if you have a mini press or you're a home iron user, you're going to want to grab the 9 by 9. And if you are, you know, you have a handheld larger craft press, we also have the 12 by 12. These are also great for if you do a lot of drinkware and you need some place to put it down because it is so hot. Okay, this is great for that.
We have a question about what temperature you put it at.
I did it for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So we have about 30 seconds left. So once the timer is up, I'm not going to remove anything. I'm just going to shift and I'll probably need some new pieces of protective paper. If there's no ink on it, you can reuse it. If there's ink on it, you shouldn't reuse it because it might go to your next project. The more you do sublimation, you'll be able to learn about when you can reuse things and when you can't. So for example, I could possibly reuse siliconized paper that has ink on it if it was for the bottom of a coaster that is not double-sided. It's not going to matter. It's brown. So you'll learn when you can get away with reusing it and when you can't. Okay. So this is our top sheet. I can see the give thanks. I can see the names. I can see the pumpkins. So this piece is shot. But I think the bottom piece is okay. It is. So I'm just going to rotate, leave my bottom piece where it is. Everything is staying put because of my heat tape job. Okay, and I just want to make sure nothing is curling up. Everything is staying the same. And again, some of this is going to get pressed twice, but that is okay. And I actually see a little piece coming up. This right there. Okay. Make sure everything's nice and flat. You don't want any wrinkles. Okay, so I just need one more piece on top. Move it back just a little bit. You want to make sure that you get everything on there. Okay, so while we're doing the second press, I'll show you guys those Sublimation socks again, blank of the month. So we do have a blank of the month series that we do. Every month we feature a different blank on our website. This month it is the Sublimation socks. So I thought these would be great for Halloween, getting cozy as we head into the new season. So I thought these would be really fun, and they're so soft. They are so soft, and one size fits all. It's just one size. So, and plus, better this way because we want more room to create. There's lots of room to get creative. They're double-sided. So we might have to do a project with some of these. These are looking so much fun. And wouldn't these be fun to make for pajamas, for your Christmas, for your family? I absolutely love that idea. So we're going to do this press. We've got about 30 more seconds. And then I've got to do this one go. I have to do a little bit over here. I think this one, I think missed a little bit, so I might have to press that one again. 2 more, so it might be 3, but it's okay. I'd rather press things maybe once or twice. It's okay to press more than once. It's okay to press a little longer. Everything here is made for high heat. You know, it is polyester, so it is a synthetic material. It's not, you know, it's not cotton, so it's the high heat is not gonna really hurt it.
We have another question. What are your most popular blanks?
Ooh, what are our most popular blanks? That's a good question. T-shirts are definitely popular. I love our shirts. You know what, let me do this and then turn around and answer the question. I'm just going to do this part really quick. Actually, there's no ink. Now there's ink here, but there's no ink on this piece, and I'm just like redoing this one. I'm going to hang this one off. I just want to do the end because I think it got missed just a tad. I'm just going to do that really quick. Okay, so the question was most popular blanks. T-shirts for sure. Coasters are a crowd pleaser. Canvas zip cases. People love the canvas zip cases. And you guys, you know what's so funny is you can actually, I just changed this on the website. You can now go to the blanks page, and there's a filter in the top right. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Haley, but I think it can be filtered from bestsellers. And you can see, so maybe I should just zip it because I might not be right, but T-shirts are a good big seller. We sell a lot of coasters, canvas zip cases. Those would be...
You're right.
Was I right?
Yep.
Man, it's like I work here or something. What else? What else is up there? Tell me top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah, tell us top 5.
This would be a fun game.
Yeah.
Sequin pillowcase, T-shirt, bag tag, bookmark, and a canvas zip case.
You know what? The bookmarks are really popular, and they're a great price too. You get 4. Not very many of our blanks come in a set of 4. The coasters come in a set of 4. Magnets come in a set of 4. Bookmarks come in a set of 4. So I think that's one of the reasons the bookmarks are really popular is because you get 4 blanks for $10. So they're very reasonably priced. You know, it's $2.50 a bookmark, and they are really nice metal, made in the USA. Great question. I love that question.
We do have another question.
Ask away.
What do you use between the socks when you press?
So you can use, let me do this again and then I'll turn around so you can make sure you can hear me. Okay, I've been reusing the same bottom piece of protective paper. I think this is our 3rd or 4th press. I hope you guys have been counting. I think it's 3 or 4. All right, we're gonna do this corner. When you press socks, sometimes when you get socks, they come with what the word is called a jig, J-I-G, and sometimes they will come and there will be a jig that goes in it. We don't have it, but I think these are pretty thick. So I'm not worried so much about things going to the other side. So what I would do, you have a couple options. you could take a piece of protective paper and fold it. That's what I would do. I would take a piece of protective paper and fold it maybe like this, and then just stick it inside. And that's what I would do, just to make sure, because listen, if there's no ink on this piece of paper that was inside, then you can reuse it. But if there is, then good thing you used it, because you're preventing your design from going through to the other side. So I would use protective paper, but you could also use like an old piece of cardboard. It might just take you a minute to create your own jig, your own piece that you put in, but that will help keep it really nice and flat while you're pressing, because there is a little bit of a seam here. But you know, if you've got like high pressure, I don't think the seam you could will affect it. You could alternatively put this part outside the press, so then that way, because this part's just a little thicker at the top for the top, to mark the top of the sock. So just to make sure you get that nice even pressure, you could leave this top part out of the sock. You have options.
We have another question whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Somebody said, if I purchase a digital coloring book or coloring page download, does it need to be printed on a sublimation printer? Then would I just color it in with my sublimation markers?
So, great question. Who asked that question?
Mary.
Miss Mary, I love that question. Great question. We actually did our live last month, was all about it. You know what? I'll show you. Let me grab the projects. So I have all three here. I might only have two. Okay, I have two. I don't know where the third one is. Okay, so last month the live was let's take 3 coloring pages, a sublimation coloring book page that we printed here at Artesprix where the black lines transfer, and then let's take 2 regular coloring pages, one we will trace and one we will not, with a black marker. And so here's what we were left with. So this is the one that we did, which was from a regular printer. So it would be like if you downloaded it, you printed it at home, and then you colored it in with the markers, so you can't really see the black lines. And some of the black lines from the regular printer did transfer, but as soon as this gets laundered, they're gonna wash out. So that's what it looks like if you do not trace the black lines. If you do trace the black lines from your regular printer, it's gonna look like this. And I think this looks pretty good. So this is when we traced the black lines with a marker and colored it in with the sublimation markers. And then, of course, our picture perfect one, the one that was colored in with the black lines, that one does look the best, the most professional. And so it just goes back to almost anything else in life. Better tool, better result. So the answer to your question, you can print them out with your regular printer and simply color them in with the markers. Those black lines are just not going to transfer. Another great question. Thank you, Miss Mary. All right, I'm continuing on over here. We're getting there. I think I've got like 2 more, maybe 1 more. I'm gonna do this last one. I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna see where we're at. But I think this could be the last one. And again, we have used the same bottom piece of protective paper every time, but you can see all the designs and the pumpkins, the leaves all over each top piece, so we do have to change those out. Okay, definitely going to be saving our give thanks. This would be really cute on maybe on the coasters, colored in, a full color coaster. And also thinking about it, let's say you wanted to use these, but you wanted to have a full color background. You could, what I would do is I would either use the paint or the blending brushes with the ink pad with a yellow, like a nice yellow to complement the orange, fill in the background, press, you know, essentially turn the coaster yellow, and then press this on top. So you would do it twice. So again, in sublimation crafting, which is what we're all about here at Artesprix, not with the printer, you can get away with pressing twice. So that's one of the ways I would reuse these and keep them on stash, because I think these would be really cute on the coaster. I don't think they would fit this way, but you might have to do them like at the diagonal and get the longest part of the of the coaster just to get it all in there, but that's what I would use these for. Okay, and so we have 10 seconds, and then I think we're close to doing our reveal. So, and you guys don't forget this promo this month, free blank with every order. Free blank with every order. Okay, so let's bring this over here, and I just want to make sure that one's good. Just make sure I got them all. And I'm just going to like, you know, like it's like the 4 corners in the United States. We're just going to check each one and just make sure, like every other, and make sure we got it. Okay, I think we did. Okay, are we ready? Let's go. Let's start. So we're just going to peel them up one by one. Oh, let me move this. Let me move all this so you guys can see. Can they see, Haley? Is this a good angle?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
I'll just show you the first 2 that I pulled up. So we've got our first name and leaf. So we're just going to keep going, and I'm already so excited. This is looking fantastic. You guys. I mean, I know I'm not an artist, but these pumpkins and leaves look totally blended. Like alcohol markers, maybe. Oh, this looks so great. And you know what I love about this? This is not only making high quality projects that you can use, that you can wash, that isn't the kitchen towel that has to stay on the oven, that nobody can touch. You're going to use this. You're going to love it. You can launder it. And it's not only making a wonderful craft, but you're also, not to be a cheese ball, but you're making memories, okay? Making memories crafting, making memories creating with each other, and then also creating projects that people are going to love and use. I mean, I forgot to add the year. But you know what? Going back to what I just said about the coaster, that's something that can be added so easily. Now this piece of tape is giving me a little attitude. That's okay. Come on, here we go. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Oh, you know what? This one didn't go. So I'm going to leave this one right there, and we're just going to press that one again. But see, that's why you always check. So what you do is you do a peek test, and you just make sure that it transferred, and if it didn't, then you can press again. And so because I didn't move any tape, because the stem did go, I'm just going to press that one again real quick, but I promise I will hold it up and show you before I make sure my project is complete. And these pumpkins, these leaves, these signatures are in there. They will never fade, crack, or peel. They are in there for life. And these towels are like good. Like you're gonna use them. Like you can show them off, but also like, you know, you can throw them in the wash with all your other kitchen towels, and it's gonna turn out just fine. Okay, guys, how cute is this? We just have to do this one leaf, and then we are done. But I think this is so cute. All right, let's just do it real quick. Haley, any questions? What do they say?
No questions. We just have a couple people. Carly said, so cute and bright. And Caroline said she's never tried Artesprix, but she's going to now.
Awesome. Thanks, Caroline. We can't wait to see what you make. Miss Haley, will you do me a favor and post the Facebook group? Because we want to see your project. So make sure you post your projects in the Facebook group. We have the link for you. We want to see what you make. Okay, I'm just going to press this really quick. And that's that. Oh, I'm so happy with this. And you could have filled it in more. You can add the year. And then think about it. You could have towels for every year, and then like 5 years from now, they could all, be, if you do family style, they can like be underneath everything. Oh, we also have trivets. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? Trivets. If you need more blanks, you like this bundle, but then you're like, I want more ways to personalize my dining room table at Thanksgiving. I can't believe I forgot about the trivets. The trivets are great. It's like an oversized coaster. They're perfect. Hot plate, depending on where you live in the country, what you call it. The trivet is a great option, again, for how to get creative this holiday season with the Artesprix products you already have, or if you haven't tried it yet, I hope that you have felt inspired after today and you want to give our products a try, because we did invent something. There is no silly question. We are here to answer your questions. You can email us at info@artesprix.com. You can message us on Instagram. You can drop your chats in all the and you can drop your your comments in all of our YouTube videos, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. You can also friend me, Artesprix Ashley, and I can be your friend on Facebook. So there's lots of ways to stay in touch. Okay, don't want to forget this leaf that I worked so hard to color. Also, use heat gloves. Don't be like me. Ta-da! There we go. And that only worked because I didn't lift up the tape, because that stem was already there, and that's why it still looks so perfect. But I am so happy with the way this turned out, and I'm so happy with the way the leaves and the pumpkins blend. I think they look so good. So if you're catching this on the replay, drop your questions in the comments. We want to answer them. And I hope you guys are feeling inspired. And I can't believe it, but next time we go live, we're going to be doing Christmas stuff. You guys, time is moving so fast. So grab your kits and start planning the holiday season, because the holidays are here and things are going to go by quickly. So make memories, get creative, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time here at Artesprix. Bye.